forget everything you think you know about the girl next door. We're diving into the psyche of the Zodiac's most misunderstood visionary. She's the woman who lives 5 years in the future while the rest of the world is still catching up to yesterday. Ruled by the chaotic brilliance of Uranus, she's not here to fit into your boxes or follow your 5-year plan. She is the ultimate paradox. A cold intellectual with a burning heart for social change, a social butterfly who needs a week of solitude, and a rebel with a very specific cause. Let's break down the Aquarius woman. Trait 1. The architect of rebellion. To understand the Aquarius woman, you have to understand that she doesn't just live in society. She observes it like a scientist looking through a microscope. This first trait, which I call the glitch in the matrix, is her innate ability to see the invisible lines of the status quo and choose to walk right through them. While other signs might rebel for attention or out of pure emotional frustration, the Aquarius woman rebels because it is the only logical conclusion. If you look at the astrology of it, she is ruled by Uranus, the planet of sudden shifts, lightning bolts, and revolution. This gives her a frequency that is slightly off-kilter from the rest of the world. Think of her as a software update that the rest of the world hasn't downloaded yet. When she enters a room, she isn't looking for the social hierarchy. She's looking for the flaws in the system. If she's in a corporate job, she's the one questioning why the 9 to 5 exists if the work is done by noon. If she's in a relationship, she's questioning why traditional milestones have to be followed. This isn't rebellion in the teenage sense. It's a deep, intellectual commitment to authenticity. For an Aquarius woman, there is nothing more painful than being fake. She would rather be the weirdo in the corner than the prom queen in a mask. This is why she often has a style that is impossible to pin down. One day she's in techwear, the next she's in 70s vintage. She isn't trying to be different. She is simply being herself, and herself happens to be a kaleidoscope of interests that don't always fit into a neat box. But here is the secret most people miss. She is also co-ruled by Saturn, the planet of structure. This creates a fascinating paradox. She isn't just breaking things for fun. She's breaking them so she can build something better, more efficient, and more inclusive. She is the architect of rebellion. She tears down the wall, but she already has the blueprints for the new gate. In a social setting, this trait manifests as a total lack of prejudice. Because she views everyone as a soul rather than a label, she'll talk to the CEO and the janitor with the exact same level of respect and curiosity. She glitches the social hierarchy by refusing to acknowledge it. She is the friend who will tell you the blunt truth when everyone else is sugarcoating it, not to be mean, but because she believes you deserve the data to make a better choice. She is the ultimate objective observer, the woman who lives 5 steps ahead, waiting for the rest of humanity to catch up to her vision of a world where everyone is finally, truly free to be themselves. Trait 2. The logic first lover. If you're expecting a typical Hollywood romance with an Aquarius woman, think sweeping orchestral swells, constant checking in on feelings, and dramatic displays of public affection, you've walked into the wrong movie. To understand her second defining trait, you have to realize that for an Aquarius, the mind is the most erotic organ. While other signs lead with their gut or their heart, she leads with her prefrontal cortex. I call her the logic-first lover because she filters the chaos of human connection through a sieve of rationality. This isn't because she's cold. It's because she values clarity. She views love not as a whirlpool to drown in, but as a fascinating, complex puzzle to be solved alongside a partner. In the early stages of dating, she won't be impressed by your car or your expensive dinner reservation. She's listening for your originality. Can you hold your own in a debate about the ethics of space colonization? Do you have a weird hobby that you've mastered? To her, a meeting of the minds is the ultimate aphrodisiac. If she can't respect your intellect, she physically cannot maintain an attraction to you. This is sapiosexuality in its purest form. This trait creates a unique dynamic in relationships. The long tether. An Aquarius woman doesn't want to merge with you. She doesn't want to be your better half, because she is already a whole person. She views a healthy relationship as 2 autonomous planets orbiting the same sun, close enough to provide warmth and gravity, but far enough away to avoid a collision. If you try to cling to her, she'll view it as a logical malfunction. She'll wonder why you don't have your own interests or why you're afraid of a little silence. However, once you pass her mental security check, Her loyalty is absolute. Because she isn't swayed by fleeting, moody emotions, her love is stable. It's built on a foundation of friendship and mutual respect. She is the partner who won't get jealous because she logically trusts you until you give her a reason not to. She won't play mind games because she finds them inefficient and beneath her. The glitch here for many partners is her emotional detachment. If you're crying, she might not immediately hug you. Instead, she might offer 3 practical solutions to the problem that caused the tears. She isn't being heartless, she's being helpful. She's giving you the tools to fix the system. To love her is to understand that her "I love you" is often translated as "I find you incredibly interesting, and I've decided to include you in my long-term vision of the future." Trait 3, the global heart. Now we're getting into the big picture, energy. The first 2 traits were about how she thinks and how she loves. The third trait is about her purpose. The Aquarius woman is the natural custodian of the future. I call her the objective humanitarian because she possesses a unique, almost supernatural ability to care deeply about the collective fate of humanity while remaining remarkably detached from individual drama. Ruled by the 11th house, the sector of the Zodiac governing groups, friendships, and societal goals, she is hardwired to look at the macro level. While a Cancer or a Pisces might cry over a single broken heart, the Aquarius woman is staying up late worrying about rising sea levels, systemic inequality, or the ethical implications of the next technological revolution. She is the water bearer, but look closely at that ancient symbol. She isn't drinking the water. She is pouring it out for the rest of the world to use. She is the vessel, the conduit for progress. This trait manifests as a fierce, unwavering commitment to social justice. She is usually the first person in her circle to go vegan, join a protest, or start a nonprofit. But here's the Aquarius twist. She doesn't do it for the likes, or to feel like a good person. She does it because it's the only logical way for a civilization to survive. Her activism is rooted in equity, not pity. She doesn't want to save you, she wants to empower the system so you don't need saving. However, this objective label is where people often get confused. Because she focuses so much on the many, she can sometimes seem aloof to the one. She might be the most inspiring leader of a global movement, but forget to text her best friend back for 3 days. It's not that she doesn't care. It's that her internal antenna is tuned to a frequency that spans continents rather than just the room she's standing in. She views human problems through a wide-angle lens. In a social setting, this makes her the ultimate diplomat of the disenfranchised. She is the woman who will stand up for the person being ignored in a meeting or the friend who is being treated unfairly, even if she doesn't particularly like that person. For her, it isn't personal, it's about the principle. She has a fairness meter that is constantly running in the background. If the scales are tipped, she will use her sharp intellect and Uranian lightning to level them out. To live with or befriend an objective humanitarian is to accept that you are part of a much larger mission. She will inspire you to look beyond your own backyard and consider your impact on the next century. She reminds us all that we aren't just individuals. We are cells in a larger organism. She's the brain cell making sure the body doesn't walk off a cliff. Trait 4. Radical independence. If there is one thing you must understand about the Aquarius woman, the one thing that is non-negotiable, untouchable, and absolute, it is her radical independence. For her, freedom isn't just a personality trait. It is her oxygen. While other signs might view independence as a phase or a reaction to a bad breakup, for the Aquarius woman, it is her natural state of being. I call this her sacred space. To understand this, you have to look at her planetary ruler, Uranus, the only planet in our solar system that rotates on its side. She is fundamentally tilted away from the gravitational pull of expectation. From a young age, she likely felt like an outsider, not because she was excluded, but because she refused to be owned by a clique, a family narrative, or a partner's demands. She doesn't want to be your missing piece, because she refuses to believe she was ever broken or incomplete to begin with. This radical independence manifests in what I call the disappearing act. Have you ever been vibing with an Aquarius woman, having the best conversation of your life, only for her to go completely radio silent for 3 days? In your mind, you're wondering what you did wrong. In her mind, she just hit her limit for social stimulation and retreated into her internal laboratory to recharge. She doesn't feel the need to explain this because to her the right to solitude is a basic human right. She isn't playing hard to get. She is simply being self-contained. In relationships, this is the trait that scares people the most, but it's actually her greatest strength. Because she is so independent, she will never be clingy or needy. She doesn't look to a partner to provide her identity, her bank account, or her happiness. This makes her the most authentic partner you could ask for. If she is with you, it's because she wants to be there, not because she needs to be. She views a relationship as two sovereign nations forming an alliance, not a merger where one absorbed the other. However, try to manage her and you'll see the Saturnian side of her personality come out. She will build a wall so high and so cold you'll think you've landed on Pluto. She cannot be guilt-tripped into compliance. If she feels like she's being put in a cage, even a golden one, she will find the glitch in the lock and walk out. She would rather be lonely and free than taken care of and suffocated. To love or work with an Aquarius woman is to respect her boundaries as if they were holy. She needs a long tether. She needs the room to roam mentally and physically. When you give her that space, she doesn't run away. She actually brings back the fire she found on her solo journey to share with you. She is the woman who proves that you don't have to lose yourself to belong to someone else. Trait 5. The loyalty lockdown. We've spent this whole video talking about how the Aquarius woman is detached, independent, and lives in the future. You might be thinking, does she actually care about anyone? The answer is a resounding yes, but it's a specific high-level kind of devotion. I call this the loyalty lockdown, because an Aquarius woman is so protective of her sacred space. Trait number 4. She doesn't let just anyone into her inner circle. She has plenty of acquaintances. She's the queen of the casual, friendly chat. But her people? That list is short, vetted, and permanent. Once you pass her mental and ethical security clearance, you are granted a lifetime pass to her loyalty. This isn't the kind of loyalty based on emotional codependency. It's principled loyalty. If you're in a crisis, she won't just offer thoughts and prayers. She will stay up until 4 a.m. building a spreadsheet to fix your finances, researching a legal loophole to help your case, or literally redesigning your life's architecture. She is the friend who will tell you the brutal truth to your face but defend your honor like a Spartan warrior behind your back. The lockdown part of this trait comes from her Saturnian side. Saturn is the planet of endurance and time. While her Uranus side is flighty and unpredictable, her Saturn side is a rock. She doesn't cancel people over minor disagreements or petty drama. She values the history and the intellectual bond you've built. She is the most non-judgmental friend in the Zodiac. You can confess your weirdest secrets or biggest failures to her, and she'll just blink and ask, "Okay, what's the plan to move forward?" In a world of ghosting and fair-weather friends, the Aquarius woman is the ultimate ride or die. She doesn't need to see you every day to be your best friend. You could go 6 months without talking, and the moment you call, she picks up exactly where you left off. Her loyalty is a fixed point in a turning world. From her rebellious logic and cerebral love to her global purpose and sacred freedom, she's a masterpiece of contradiction. Once you pass her mental bypass, her loyalty is your ultimate anchor. She doesn't just inhabit the world, she redesigns it.